Hello Wolfpack. I wanted to do an update on Digibyte, and that's mainly because I found a very interesting fractal, which has made me reconsider my price prediction for Digibyte for the end of the year, and it's given me some hard evidence of an actual price prediction rather than just a speculation based off past performance. It is in form of a fractal, and we'll be looking into that briefly. But what I want to look at first is I want to look at the daily chart on Digibyte to give you guys a quick update on what is happening in the short term for Digibyte. Well, short term, the daily chart's not necessarily short term, but I guess medium term, give you a bit of a zoomed out perspective of it. So Digibyte's ran up this year, obviously, just like every other coin, dropped down if you make capitulation, just like every other coin, entered this downwards channel here, from which it broke out to the upside. It took a little stagnation here and entered a double bottom at the bottom of our support block here. At around 3 cents. We picked up some Digibyte in our Telegram group for a trading signal at around 3.2, 3.3 cents, somewhere around that region. And from that point, we really reached almost a 3x, reached about 8 cents, in which it's been rejected from this red resistance box. So this resistance box here, this red one, has been, quite the tough resistance. We've actually been facing that resistance box since the 13th of August was our first test of that region. And the reason why it's so strong is because it lines up with our bull market support band, and it has been in the past. We can see that if we zoom up a little bit more, we can see that this first rejection here was because we were being rejected by the 21-week EMA, as well as the bottom of this red resistance box at 7.5 cents. The second one had the same story. The third one was just a wick upwards, might have just been random price action. Regardless, we were rejected as well. And the fourth one, which was just a couple of days ago actually, we managed to close above our market support band and within the red resistance box, but immediately were shut down massively by Bitcoin dropping, which was completely unexpected. And that's kind of unfortunate because we were actually going to see a breakthrough there as seen by the daily close, but it was clearly a full rejection, a full bull trap essentially, and we dropped way back down to about 4 to 5 cents, from which we're seeing some price action around the POC, which is the point of control on the volume profile, which basically means that this is an area where the most volume on the current chart actually is. So this is a massive support area that we don't want to lose at 6.1 cents, and we're seeing the price bouncing between that area for the last 3 days. So what we could be expecting, well, we are expecting a bit of a red September. What we do have on Digibyte as well that were kind of told us that this was actually going to go down is that we had this bearish divergence on the RSI, if I circle that for you guys, which is basically telling us that momentum's running out and we're probably going to be seeing a correction sometime soon. In fact, the whole market had signs of a correction. We just weren't expecting it to happen that quickly, but we were expecting a red September, and we saw that bearish divergence, which could have been evidence for us. So what we want to be seeing in the coming days is Digibyte bouncing around and breaking through this resistance line on the RSI to prevent any more lower highs. What we will be seeing probably is bouncing around this point of control. Ideally, we don't want to lose this point of control, but if we do, we have the Gaussian channel as support that we don't want to lose either, from which we'll be seeing a bullish Q4 and we'll break through this resistance box, hopefully. So that's my prediction for the short term on Digibyte. I don't really want to make any predictions for within this monthly action. That line I just drew was just speculation. I think that September is a very unpredictable month in crypto. Sometimes we just see sideways consolidation, but sometimes we see drops of up to 30-40%. So it's very hard to predict what's going to happen within September. What I am confident in is that we're going to have a great Q4 and a great Q1. So if we jump right into the price prediction that I've been making here on Digibyte, well, you may be wondering, where am I getting this fractal from? Okay, so before I get into anything like that, we can see in the last bull market, what we saw is something very similar to what we will be seeing now. Now, this is assuming that Q4 is bullish, which I'm expecting it is. So Q4 is going to be around here. All right. So what we saw in the last bull market is at the start of the bull market, as you can see, the dates actually line up perfectly. We had this miniature pump, which ended in May to June, and then we saw a correction. This pump here went into May, and then we saw a correction into June. All right. So we're seeing very, very, very massive similarities already. And then from that point here, throughout the whole of September, we were consolidating. October, we were consolidating. And through November and December, which is Q4, we started to move up, and we made an all-time high here. That was about 120% higher than the high made in May in the previous pump at the start of that year. So basically what we saw, if we just simplify what I just said, we saw a pump, consolidation, and correction for a few months, and then a pump again. We've seen this year a pump, we've seen consolidation and correction for a few months, and we'll probably be pumping again into Q4. Now, all we need to do, and we can look at some similarities in the RSI and MACD as well to confirm that this actually is the case. Specifically the MACD, what we saw is a pump. Oh, I just took that away. What we saw is a pump here in July, May, and June. Some downwards trend on the MACD, and then we saw a bullish MACD cross, and then that triggered the pump at the end of the year into Q4 and Q1. And we were seeing something very similar where we saw a pump on the, obviously it's just on a larger scale because the price is moving further upwards. A pump, we've seen that downwards trend on the RSI, and we're just about to see that bullish MACD cross. That will be the catalyst for that massive pump that's coming towards Q4 and Q1. So, looking in the RSI as well, we can see something similar. We saw a rise up in the RSI, downwards consolidation, and then another rise up, and we've seen a rise up in the RSI, downwards consolidation, and we'll probably be seeing another rise up. So it's pretty clear that, you know, everything is lining up for this fractal to take place, and I think it's a very clear fractal. And, you know, people always say to me, you know, I've heard it in the comments a few times, is that, oh, well, you shouldn't be predicting, you know, future performance off past performance. How else do you want to, you know, do predictions via fractals? It's actually probably one of the most reliable predictors, past performance on future performance, because it shows you how this coin tends to move. This coin tends to move in spikes. It doesn't do gradual growth, like things like, you know, Hedera Hashgraph, for example, does gradual growth upwards and downwards. This does spikes, very quick, hard up, hard down, hard up. And so, taking that fractal, I've already applied it here, but if I took that fractal, and actually we can do it again, just to make this a little bit more clear here. But we identified that this area here looks very similar to what is happening in the current price action. We won't change the length of it too much. We'll just scale it up. And obviously fractals aren't going to be perfect, by the way. You know, they're obviously rough guidelines of what's going to happen. The point is the trend is there. So we saw that pump up, we saw that consolidation downwards, and we'll be seeing a pump up into, this actually says November to December, which makes sense perfectly with our Q4 altcoin season that we're trying to expect. And that will put us at a peak of around 37 cents. All right. So that's due to the fractal, and that will be my price prediction for Digibyte. I think that's actually quite conservative, 37 cents. It's only a, you know, it's less than a 2x from the previous all-time high, so it's very conservative. But I'm a conservative investor, you know, in my opinion, you know, and this from current prices. If we measure it from current prices, if you think of 500%, if you think of 5x is conservative, you might need to get a bit of a reality check, because what other asset classes are you ever going to get that kind of return in, you know, in such a short amount of time? And realistically, Digibyte is already up, you know, hundreds of percent from its bear market lows. I think that's a very, very strong price prediction. I think it's very achievable, and that's the main part. I don't want to make these, $1 Digibyte price predictions where, you know, it could happen 100%. It could happen. I'm not doubting that at all. In fact, it probably, you know, dare I say, it probably will happen, but I'd rather be conservative, have conservative price predictions, and take profits and not be stuck holding my bags for a 3-year bear market. So 36 cents, we'll say 36 cents on Digibyte due to this fractal. And if we look at Bitcoin dominance as well, before we jump into CoinMarketCap and look at some of the supply and demand, and also where that price prediction at 36 cents will take us in terms of market cap, we can look, this kind of lines up perfectly with what we're expecting on Bitcoin dominance. I made this fractal, you know, a few weeks ago. I'll leave a link in the description describing the fractal and how I made it, but I'm just going to stick with it for this video. I won't explain it. It will take too long. What I will say is that this pump we're expecting to happen from November to December. Realistically, it could happen a little bit later than that. It is a fractal, so it's not 100% perfect, but the point is the trend is our friend here, so it could be going into January as we usually expect in bull markets. But if we look at Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing that during October here and November, you know, October, November, January, basically Bitcoin dominance is going to drop massively, which is going to leave altcoins a lot of room to grow. And that's when we see our altcoin season, where altcoins go parabolic and Bitcoin kind of stabilizes. And this lines up with this fractal perfectly, in which during this time period in which Digibyte is expected to be pumping due to this fractal, Bitcoin dominance will be dropping massively and money will be flowing into altcoins. So it makes perfect sense. Last thing I want to look into, is the market cap of Digibyte. It is 900 million currently. It is currently ranked at 107 on the market cap leaderboards. And I want to show you why I think the 36 cent prediction is very, very achievable. Now, if we look, the current price is around 6 cents. So let's just say if we went to 36 cents, we'd be 6xing the market cap. So we'll go 900 million times 6. And that would bring us to a market cap of 5.4 billion. If we look at coins that are on 5.4 billion on the market cap ranking right now, we can see that, for example, here we go. Tezos, Atom, Monero, all in that region, which is 31, 32, and 30 on the market cap ranking. Obviously, as Digibyte grows, these coins will also move up because of the alt season. But it just gives you a perspective. Do you really think that it's so impossible that Digibyte could have as much money in it right now as Monero, you know? It doesn't seem that hard to believe, especially when the market is growing, you know, by factors of 10 in the altcoin season. So I think it's very achievable. You know, let me know what you think about the Fractal. Let me know what you think your price prediction for Digibyte is. I definitely think it could go higher, you know, as I've said, 100%. But I think that, you know, as I said, I like to be conservative. I like to be having my expectations met rather than being disappointed and holding my bags for a bear market. This being said, I won't be selling all of my Digibyte at this price prediction at 36 cents. You know, I could be holding some, you know, the higher we go. I'll just have to see how it goes until then. But, you know, I think that a 6x is probably as high as I'm willing to predict. It's still a long way away. You know, but I would be expecting to happen in Q4 or Q1. And I think the Fractal is very convincing. It has the MACD and RSI and the price action to support it. So it's a very convincing Fractal. Thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.